Arc fault detection devices are a new addition to the 18th edition of the wiring regulations. In this information podcast, we discuss why arcing shouldn't become an afterthought. The wiring regulations define danger as risk of injury to persons from fire, electric shock, burns, arcing and explosion arising from the use of electrical energy. Not that this should surprise us. Electricity is a dangerous commodity. In England in 2016-2017, there were 13,347 fires from an electrical origin. Electrical fires are continuing to occur at virtually the same rate year on year, even though many of these incidents are preventable. Perhaps this is partly because buildings have more items of electrical equipment in them than ever before. Electrical fires caused by arc faults typically occur at loose connections, poor terminations, in damaged leads and cables, or through old, weak and failing insulation. Arc fault detection devices, or AFDDs, can decrease the likelihood of electrical fires from these conditions by detecting the arcing conditions before the overheating and ignition of flammable materials. In countries like the USA, where use of AFDDs started some years ago, there's been a reported reduction of 10% for this type of incident. Dave Ennifer, product manager at Crabtree, comments, "The wiring regulations, BS 7671, sets out requirements for electrical installations in the UK, including requirements for protection of persons, livestock and property against the risk from fires that may be generated and propagated in electrical installations. Designers and installers should ensure that the installation is arranged so that the risk of ignition from high temperatures or electric arc is minimised, and that protection from harmful thermal effects is provided. Protection requirements include protecting against fire caused by insulation faults, arcs and sparks, and high temperature. Clearly, the wiring regulations require certain design and installation standards. It is permitted to use RCDs as a measure for protection against insulation faults. It's also a requirement to install other circuit protection devices such as MCBs to provide protection from overcurrent and other conditions. However, those devices cannot detect or disconnect arc faults. AFDDs detect arc faults that will not be detected by RCDs or MCBs due to the fact that the magnitude of such arc faults is often insufficient to operate an RCD or MCB. Crabtree arc fault detection devices cater for all of these requirements because the AFDD technology is combined with MCB and RCD technology in one single device, providing for all of the requirements of BS 7671. In countries that have already adopted this technology, AFDDs are often used in buildings with sleeping accommodation, those made from combustible materials, and locations with rare or irreplaceable items. Imagine how many incidents could be prevented if these devices were installed in all such locations. What is an AFDD? AFDDs work by protecting specifically against arc faults, as they automatically trip a circuit when they detect dangerous electric arcs, thus preventing the outbreak of a fire. An arc fault occurs when the arc current either flows between active conductors in parallel with the load of the circuit, or when it's flowing through the load or loads. Arcing is incredibly dangerous because it creates high intensity heating at the point of the arc, resulting in burning particles that may, over time, ignite surrounding materials. Moreover, repeated arcing creates carbon paths which generate temperatures exceeding 6,000 degrees centigrade. It can take time to develop, it can occur immediately, or over a longer period, meaning that the onset of an electrical fire due to ignition of the cable insulation or nearby flammable materials is unpredictable. AFDDs constantly monitor and analyse patterns in voltage waveforms and electrical current, looking out for divergence from normal patterns of waveform that denote a potentially dangerous arc. They are designed and tested to not respond to arcing under normal operation of equipment, for example, vacuum cleaners and drills, while simultaneously continuing to respond to arc faults whilst the equipment is being used. Electrical fires can be decreased in number by the use of this recognised device that installers can now easily access and install. You can read more about Crabtree's AFDD solution via www.electrium.co.uk/products/Crabtree. And we have more about arc fault detection devices and the 18th edition over at our 18th edition area. You can find the link in the podcast description or go to www.electrium.co.uk/18th-edition. This Product News Item podcast has been produced in association with the BusinessNet Explorer Product News and Information channel. The full story for the item can be found using the search facility at www.businessnetexplorer.com. Just type the brand you are looking for into the search, then click on their logo to reach their profile page. This includes links to all of their latest product news items published in B&E Product News.